doing something different today. So as the title tells you, I'm showing you my top 10 favourite moulds. I have a lot more, but these are the ones I like and I've used fairly recently too. I'll tell you some of the reasons why I like them as we go through. Alright, one of my early favourites is this mould. It's Ace of Spades box, lid. And what's nice about this is it's a nice shape. It's a fairly deep box. Actually, it would be that way around. And the bottom of the box has diamonds on it. I call it Harley Quinn. And you can do gold pen all around the outside edges of the diamonds. And then you can colour the cells. And what I made with this mould, in my version, was this. There's the front. And inside, it's a nice surprise to open the box and find, ooh, it's colour in there. So that's what I did with mine. As I say, you can go around the outside edges and the inside lines of the cells with gold pen if you want to make it pop out even more. And I used red and black in mine. And I like this mold because it is an interesting shape and you can do a lot with it. So that was one of my early favourites. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh yes, something else that I had fun with. I don't know if you can see that, but this is like a sugar skull mould. And again, another fairly deep box. And in the chin, what would be his chin area of this, which this would be the base, they've made a little divot so that you can pop the lid out, because this lid fits inside and it fits inside very well. And I'll show you my version. This is what I did with mine. I reverse painted on UV resin and I mixed it with mica and painted it on the back. Because this lid fits so well, it fits inside, I put some 1/2 inch ribbon on the bottom of mine just to make it a bit easier to pop, you know, to lift in and out. And I did the outside with chameleon powder and then put black resin behind everything to make the colours pop. I also put some rhinestones on it, some little bits and bobs. So yeah, that makes a nice box and be good for Halloween. Yeah, it's fun and you can have a lot of fun colouring it. So that was another favourite I had. What should we do next? Let's do these. My next favourite would be these little jars. Now these are, the lids on these actually screw on, and they screw on very well and they're very cute. You can do a lot of things with these. Once you get resin in them, they're quite heavy. They've got a good weight to them. As I say, I was very impressed with the way there are threads in here. And when you do the resin, there are threads on the jar as well. When it's cured and you screw them together, it's amazing how well they go together. And my version of that was this. I did this lovely blue gold lid with a blue butterfly on the top. And you can see the threads on the jar. I don't know if you can see the threads on the lid, but it's very impressive the way they go together. First time I made these, I thought, wow, that really works. I was a bit skeptical and I thought, maybe, maybe not, but yeah, it's amazing how well they go together. And a lot of other people who make resin have used these and they're just as impressed as I am. So another good mould, reliable to make, cute, and if you're making them to sell them, I think they'd fly off the shelves. Okay, so there's that one. Another early on favourite, again, simple shape. It's a little trinket tray. A lot of other people like these too. I've seen people review these. Everybody likes these. these are a good go-to because you can do so many things with these. You could put stickers in them, you could put flowers in them, you could play with all kinds of colours. I did this with mine. Now this started off its life as one of those temporary body tattoos, and I reverse painted it with UV resin. That's using UV resin and mica powder, and I painted all the colours on, and then I put this lovely gold on because he's a tiger, right? So he's very rich in colour. I love these. I think they're really nice. They're a nice size, nice shape, and I was very happy with that. So that is another reliable mould and cute. So since we're doing that one, let's move on to something I did recently. This is a fairly new mould. It's a little box. This is the lid. And I like this because it's not just square. It has a nice shape. And the lid of this, rather like the sugar skull box, it fits right inside, so it sits right down inside. And again, I find it a little bit difficult to lift that out because it sits flush. But, and this is one I have made really recently. Now this is the same tattoo as that. And you can see, just by changing the colours of things, I think the flowers are basically the same colours, but the background colour really changes the appearance of it. So yeah, I was very pleased with that, and you can pick different parts of the flowers depending on what you're putting the tattoo on. As I say, this is a really nice little box. As you can see, it's quite deep, and I didn't dome this like I did with my little jar. I gave it a couple of coats of a spray, a sealing spray, an acrylic spray. I use Krylon, and because, as I say, this lid does fit so well inside, it sits flush, I put a little 1/4 inch ribbon on the corner so that you can lift it in and out. But look at that, tons of space in there. As I say, that's a really nice shape. And the lid fits just like that. Now this makes stacking pots, and the outside of it has a texture. It's kind of like quilting, but when you cast it in the resin, it has a nice feel to it. It's a fairly large pot too. And this is the lid. Now, if you watch the video, you will see the struggle I had trying to get this part out. Yeah, it was almost a 2-person job. So that can be a bit of a challenge. And this is what I made with mine. So as you can see, they're stackable. Tons of space. Goes together like that. This is the lid. This is the part that's the challenge to get out of the mould. But I really like this, and I think I don't know if you can see, but there are 3 lines on the top here, and they make this lid look elegant. The lid is fairly heavy because it's solid, absolutely solid piece of resin, and this mould does take quite a bit of resin. But I don't know if you can see the pattern. Here's the pattern of it, and it feels so nice. So you could make your pots, you could have that on there, put that on top, and you could build yourself an absolute stack of these. It's very stable too because it's quite a broad base. So that's another favourite. And oh yes, let's do this one. Now these are good, and I like these moulds, and they come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. This one I like because it's not just a square or a rectangle, and it has a nice shape, and the mould maker reinforces it in here The only thing they don't reinforce is when this is filled up with resin, the short sides, they're fine, but with the long sides, they can bow out a little bit with the amount of resin you put in. So when you make things like this, just put something along the sides to make them straight, to keep it straight, otherwise you'll have a disfigured tray. And that will keep the sides square. But I like these molds, they're fun to make. Again, it's another kind of trinket tray. And I made this with mine. Now this is a spaceman. He's fishing on some remote planet. And it also made a little rocket that went with this, a gold rocket. But yes, the shape of this mold, I really like it. And I managed to keep my sides straight because I put things up along sides. You don't have to worry about the short sides, but the long sides do tend to bow out. But yes, that's another good, reliable mold to buy. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is because in some of my videos I say, when I'm using a mold, oh, I love making this, it'll definitely go on my favourites list. This is my favourites list so far. There are others in my favourites list, but these were the 10 that I really liked. Another reason for making this video was if you're new to making things with resin and you're not sure what to buy mold wise, there are some bad molds out there, trust me. I have bought some of them and I'm sure other people have too. For various reasons they fail as a mold. They either don't keep their shape or you just cannot get the resin form out of the mold. I just thought it might be helpful to have some kind of guidance as to what actually works, because these are all things that I myself have personally used and had successful projects with. So I thought maybe that would be a good idea. You can tell me whether you like that idea or not. So moving on. Oh yes, let's do this. Now, seahorse, such a cutie. This mold, I will confess, was expensive. I think to date this is the most expensive mold I have ever bought. And I told my husband, oh, I want to make a sea theme. And I was looking through some molds on Amazon and I saw some seahorse ones and I thought, oh, they're nice, but they're not really what I want. And he went looking, bless him, and he found this for me. The reason that I love this is because, first of all, it is a very well made mold. It's heavy. I don't know if you can see the detail there in the mold. You'll see it in what it comes out as in the resin. But this, I really love this sculpted look on his chest and main body. So this, I love him. I'm very enthusiastic about that. And I made this with mine. I thought he's so cute and he's so nice. He deserves to be more than just, you know, a seahorse. So I decided I would put him in a project. And this project took me quite a long time because, you know, I made some mistakes and I changed my mind about a few things. The other thing I like about him is, probably you can see him better this way, he is so thin. He's only about, at his deepest point, he's probably only about that deep. So he makes a nice 3D version, and that's what I made with mine. But I love this. This is what I really liked. And I did that with mica. And I put black resin on. You can't see because it's obviously glued down, but yeah, to make the colours pop, I did the black resin. And I love that. Okay, what have we got next? Oh yes, let's do, now I don't know if you can see, probably you can from the shape of it, but this is froggy mold. And it makes a cute little frog. And with this, because he is very 3D, you have to make sure that you get some kind of tool, like a silicone tool or one of those micro brushes, and you get the resin down in there. Otherwise you'll get a big bubble. But this is fun. And what I made with this mould, my version, was I put him on a box. And he is cute. Very cute. What I did with mine was, again, this is those temporary body tattoos. I put them on his back, on the backs of his legs, if I turn him around, on his little feet. And as I say, you can see, I mean, look at that 3D. He is just so cute. And he has texture on his back and his little feet. I love this. I really like this. If you like whimsical things, you can really have fun with this. So he is an absolute favourite. Got a cute butt too. Right, well, since we're doing that, I think this is the last one. This is the lizard mould. Now, this lizard and the frog, they come as a set. They come together, so you can have fun with both of these. He has a little bit of detail on his head, like kind of little ripples. On his tail, you can feel he has nice little ripples, so he's got some detail on him. He's a nice size, and he's fun. He is a lot of fun. Some people, when they do this, they put the eyes in, but I'm not very good at that. So what I did with mine was, I made my lizard, and I made him a tree trunk, a stump to live on. So this is dragon wood, and it's his perch. And I put flowers in mine. So he's a flower lizard. You can see all the flowers he's been eating as he's been going through the forest, hungrily eating his way through. But I really love that. As I say, he's got a little bit of detail, like ribbing on his tail, and a little bit of kind of almost like smooth scales on his head. But he is cute. I really like him. So the frog and the lizard come as a set, as I say, and they are fun. You could do so many things with this. I didn't put the eyes in, as I said, because quite by chance, I managed to get blue daisies almost in a position where his eyes would be. So I decided I would leave it there and just let him have his eyes as the flowers. Okay, so I think that's the end of the show. I don't think there's anything else. As I say, those are my top 10. Some of my favourites, some I've been using recently, some I've used, you know, way back. But these are things that, as I say, if you're not sure what to buy, and you want to invest your money wisely, these are some of the things that are reliable. You can see what I've made with them. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was informative. And if you did like this video, would you consider subscribing and liking me and hitting the notification? I would appreciate that very much. So, you know where I will be, same time, same place next week. I will see you there. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.